I'm Andrew Jarvis, and I'm here at the Fit Studios with Simon Atta. Simon, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, I'm Simon. You might know me as Simonster. I'm a physiotherapist and I've been doing calisthenics and breakdancing for about 20 years. Now I mostly teach and educate people about calisthenics.
My name is Andrew Jarvis. You may know me on Instagram as Muscle Up Jarvis, and I've been involved with fitness training for over 10 years. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a question that we get a lot: weights or calisthenics? And so Simon, which one is it?
Or weighted calisthenics.
Oh man, don't take it too far. Wow, you just bridged the gap right there.
Weights or calisthenics? If you just get that question with no greater context, it's really hard to answer. It really depends on your goals. So if you want to get good at weights, do weights. If you want to get good at calisthenics, do calisthenics. And that's the principle of specificity. If you want to get good at something, you should be doing that thing. But I think the question that's more commonly asked is, I want to build muscle. Should I do weights or should I do calisthenics? Or I want to get good at the planche. Should I only do calisthenics or should I include some weights? And those questions have a little bit more context. So if you want to build muscle, let's just focus on, can you build muscle with calisthenics? And we'll talk a little bit about the drawbacks of each of them. Can you build muscle with calisthenics? Absolutely. Your muscles don't care whether you're fatiguing them with external weights or your body weight. At the end of the day, the effect on the muscle is the same. You're making them apply tension, you're causing some fatigue, which is stimulating them to grow. Whether you do that with an external dumbbell or you do that with planche exercises for the anterior deltoid, you can get the same intensity and have the exact same effect locally. The effect with regards to performance will be specific to the way you train. You want to get good at anterior dumbbell raises, do anterior dumbbell raises. You want to get good at planche, practice that specific motor pattern with the planche. So can you build muscle with calisthenics? Absolutely, you can. But there's some drawbacks to it. One drawback to it is that it's very hard to isolate specific muscles. So there's a reason that bodybuilders train with weights predominantly. And that's because one of those reasons is that you can very easily target a specific muscle. If I want to target my biceps and I think, my lats are great, but I want to build a little bit more mass in my biceps, I can do isolated bicep curls in the gym. With calisthenics, it's a little bit more challenging. There are some exercises you can do, like bar bicep curls. Maybe the biceps wasn't the best example, but quite often calisthenics exercises are compound exercises that utilize a lot of muscles. And if you're trying to fatigue one, you may be limited by other muscles, which stops you from growing that particular muscle.
For example, in your example, it would be hard to get past the strength in your lats, right? To access your biceps if you're doing chin-ups and stuff.
Yeah, so let's say I really want to build my biceps, but they're already quite strong. I just want some more mass. But every time I do chin-ups, I feel fatigued in my back, and it's my back or the back of my shoulders that limits me. I'm not going to be giving my biceps much fatigue or much of a stimulus to grow. Another example is, let's say you're using the front lever to build muscle in your back, and you're really good at the tuck front lever. You've got nice strong lats. You can do a lot of reps, and to train at the appropriate intensity, you really want to be doing full reps, so straight body reps. But every time you try full reps, you're limited at 1 or 2 reps because of ab fatigue. That's not going to be optimal for building your lats. Weights get around that issue by making it much easier to target specific muscles. Another reason weights are awesome is for muscle growth specifically, is that you can progress gradually and incrementally. If you try to do pure bodyweight exercises, quite often there's a large gap in difficulty between progressions, and it means that one progression you may be able to do 30 reps, and at the next progression you can only do 5 or so reps. So you've probably encountered people who can hold a tuck planche for 30 seconds, they try to do the advanced tuck and they can't do it at all. And it's like, where do I train? There are some workarounds. You can use bands to assist you, but it's a lot more complicated than with weights, where I do an anterior deltoid raise.
Add 2.5 pounds,
yeah,
add 5 pounds, add 10
add
pounds.
half a pound.
Doing the same movement pattern.
Exactly, doing the exact same movement pattern. So it makes it much simpler and much easier to progress incrementally. With calisthenics, while you can find workarounds, it's much more complicated. Yeah, and as you said, the motor patterns often change. So people, one thing that's not entirely accurate when people say, oh, you can progress calisthenics indefinitely and target those muscles, is often you're targeting a different muscle. So take push-ups, for example. Can I challenge somebody with calisthenics indefinitely? Absolutely. You can do 50, 60 push-ups. Great. Try archer push-ups. Great. Try one-arm push-ups. Or take the example of planche. You can do 50, 60 push-ups. Okay, try pseudo planche push-ups. Great. Now lean a bit further. Now tuck planche push-ups. Now try full planche push-ups. If you're using those as progressions, it's not really a true progression. It's almost like a completely different exercise. Because standard push-ups, you generally have this kind of hybrid of a bit of shoulder flexion, but a lot of shoulder horizontal adduction. In planche push-ups, your elbows are by your sides the whole time. So it's pure flexion that you're using. So you're using a completely different motor pattern.
Not only that, but oftentimes externally rotated.
Yeah, so if you're trying to target the pecs, with weights, you just jump on the bench press, you keep adding weight, you'll be targeting the pecs. With calisthenics, you're doing, start with push-ups, great, you're targeting the pecs. When they become too easy, you move to pseudo planche push-ups or planche push-ups. It's a completely different motor pattern and you're not really targeting the pecs. Let's say you went the other route and you went with archer push-ups and one-arm push-ups. Arch push-ups, great. You still might be able to target the pecs, but once again, when you lean to one side, this elbow tends to stay in rather than flaring out. So once again, not really the same motor pattern. Let's say you progress to one-arm push-ups. That requires a great deal of skill. You may be limited by balance and, fall over. And if you're just trying to build muscle, and you don't actually care about learning a one-arm push-up, why would you do that?
Exactly.
There's no need to be limited by skill when you can just throw some more weight on the bar, keep a simple motor pattern that you're familiar with, and challenge yourself that way.
So all this information leads me to believe that if you want to get stronger and bigger with calisthenics, then weighted calisthenics seems like a great answer.
Weighted calisthenics is great because you can keep motor patterns the same and just add weight with the vest.
So it takes the accessibility and the ease of weightlifting to where the ease of scale in weightlifting, and it brings it into the calisthenics world.
Exactly. So you can progress gradually and incrementally. Pull-ups are too easy, add 2 pounds, add 5 pounds, add 20 pounds. You can find a level that's suitable for anybody that is above that threshold of being able to do bodyweight pull-ups. If your goal is purely physique related and you want to really sculpt specific muscles, it's probably not ideal. It makes it a little bit challenging to target specific muscles. But if you just generally want to build mass, get bigger and stronger, weighted calisthenics is awesome. Some reasons I love calisthenics, because we've spoken predominantly about the negatives.
That's what starting off. I'm like, who am I talking to here? Is this a lifter?
Yeah. So it's just being honest.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's getting out all the info so that we could really bring it all together.
Yeah.
And understanding the benefits and that each offer.
There are some real benefits to calisthenics, and anybody that knows me knows I predominantly do calisthenics. And the reasons I predominantly do calisthenics is, one, I enjoy it. I just like that style of training. It's fun. The second reason is you get to learn really cool skills while you do it. So with weights, you're doing the same thing. You're bench pressing more weight, you're bench pressing more weight.
Which is previously, it's our benefit to get towards a certain goal, right?
Yeah, which is absolutely fine. If you want to bench press a lot of weight, that's awesome. If you enjoy bench pressing, amazing, do that. But if you get bored doing the same sort of thing, and you want to change things up, you want to progress and learn new skills along the way, calisthenics is great. I can build shoulder muscles while I learn to balance upside down. I can really learn to master my body. You develop a lot of motor control with calisthenics. When you hold a planche, not only does it require a lot of strength, but it requires a lot of balance. It requires a great deal of neuromuscular control to be able to maintain straight body alignment. Learning a handstand is a skill that takes years and years to refine, let alone incorporating that into the strength element of a handstand push-up. So the reasons I really love calisthenics, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of variation along the way. As you progress, you learn new motor patterns, you learn new skills. And secondly, you develop tremendous neuromuscular control that I don't think you get from many other sports in the same way. You learn to balance on your hand. You get really good at unilateral movements, things like one-arm chin-ups. You get really good at controlling body postures and learning to manipulate the position of your spine. So it's kind of like you're learning the control of a gymnast while you're building muscle.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of info in there, and I think what it really comes to is, what are your goals? What do you want to get out of your training? And tailor it so that it works for you.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how every good training program should be. It should be tailored to the individual's goals and preferences.
So, bringing it all together, calisthenics or weights?
Yeah. For me, it's both. Unfortunately, like almost everything in almost every question, the answer is it depends. But it depends on a lot of things, and I think we've outlined a lot in this conversation. So that's hopefully.
So someone who's
useful.
interested in also looks up to you in what you can do, then you would probably recommend to them, hey, do both, right?
Yeah, my recommendation for most people is include some calisthenics exercises and include some weight exercises if you're unsure. So you might start with a weights routine and add in some push-ups and some pull-ups. And if you really enjoy the calisthenics side of things, you might progress down that path. And if you really enjoy weights, you might progress down that path. But there's no reason why you can't do both. And I find doing both is really, really beneficial at any level. If you want to get your first chin up or pull up, the lat pull down machine's a great way to fatigue your lats, build some extra muscle, which you can then apply to the skill of doing a chin up or pull up. You want to get good at handstand push-ups, overhead press is amazing, regardless of whether you've never done a handstand push-up and are months away, or you can do 40.
Excellent. Well, I think we covered it there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and check out the first link in the description for Simon's new weighted calisthenics program. So thanks for being on, and we'll see you guys next time.